Hello everybody and welcome to week 7 of NPL. Today matches against Seattle Mariners and his team. Besides 6 in the matches: Hariyama, Ordino, Mega Gardevoir, Scarlipede and Mesprit. My team is Roserade, Scizor, Primeape, Charizard X, Jengar and Incineroar. So let's start the battle. He leads with Mawile, no Intimidate, which is good for me. I sent out Roserade. I withdrew Roserade right away, and I sent Incineroar. Mawile's attack fell because of Intimidate. He used Fire Fang, which is good for me, because I have Incineroar on my side instead of Roserade. The obvious switch is obvious, as he sent Seismitoad as replacement for Mawile. Because that switch was so obvious, I clicked U-turn. And as a replacement I sent Roserade. And Seismitoad restored a little HP using its leftovers. He withdrew Seismitoad, and he sent Delmise. It's kind of risky, since I'm poison type, and lucky for him, I didn't use any poison type move. I used Sleep Powder, but Sleep Powder doesn't affect Delmise. I withdrew Roserade, and I sent Incineroar. This time it was risky for me, because he can do a lot of damage with Earthquake, if he had it. But he used not very effective Shadow Claw. This was a repeat of the second turn, but this time he withdrew Delmise, and he sent Seismitoad out. And because this turn is repeat of the second turn, I used U-turn, and I sent Roserade out. And again Seismitoad restored a little HP using its leftovers. Jose withdrew Toad and he sent out Mawile. I used Sludge Bomb, because I thought he would send Delmise to stop my Sleep Powder, which doesn't affect him. I withdrew Roserade, and I sent Charizard. I'm not Dragon yet, so I don't need to worry, but he withdrew Mawile, and he sent Delmise, because he thought I would use Sleep Powder this time. He withdrew Delmise, and Tyranitar is sent out. A Sandstorm kicked up, because the opposing Tyranitar Sandstream. Charizard has Mega evolved into Mega Charizard X, and Charizard's attack and speed rose because of Dragon Dance. Because the sandstorm is raging, Charizard is buffeted by the sandstorm. I was ready for Tyranitar, because I had Brick Break, which is used, but he was also ready for Fighting type move, because he had Chople Berry, but that Chople Berry didn't help him at all because Tyranitar fainted. The sandstorm is raging, and Charizard is buffeted by the sandstorm again. And he sent Glusker. I stayed in with Charizard and Flare Blitz is used. To be honest, I thought that would kill him, because I'm +1 attack. But instead he killed me with Earthquake. The sandstorm is raging, and the opposing Glusker was badly poisoned. I sent Incineroar, and the opposing Glusker's attack fell because of Intimidate. Glusker was withdrawn, and Seismitoad is sent in her place. I used U-turn once again. And I sent Roserade out once again. The sandstorm is raging, and Roserade is buffeted by Sandstorm, and the opposing Seismitoad restored a little HP using its leftovers. Once again Seismitoad was withdrawn, and Delmise is sent. I used HP Fire, I think, and that okay damage to Delmise 44% of its health. And Sandstorm subsided. Incineroar is sent, because I want to get that Intimidate off. Delmise's attack fell one stage. The opposing Delmise used Earthquake, which is super effective on Incineroar, and even with Intimidate that did good amount to Incineroar. I don't know why he stayed with Delmise, but I used Flare Blitz. It's super effective. Incineroar is damaged by the recoil, and the opposing Delmise fainted. Jose sent out Seismitoad. The opposing C Smithoed used stealth rockets pretty bad, because there's a lot of switching on my side of the battlefield. I used Drain Punch because of recovery, but his leftovers almost nullify all of that damage. This time he attacked me with Earth Power and that recovery from Drain Punch didn't help me at all, because Incineroar lost last 24% of its health and Incineroar fainted. The opposing C Smithoed once again restored HP with leftovers, and Rosserade's sent and pointed stones dug into Rosserade. He withdrew C Smithoed, and he sent out Gluska maybe, because I can't put him to sleep, because he's already poisoned. I used HP fire and that's enough, because the opposing Gluska fainted. And he sent Kyurem Black. I used HP fire, but that's so little, 18% to be precise. And it's really bad for me, because he has type advantage. Because he's ice type and he used Ice Beam and that's enough to make my Roserade faint. And Jenga is sent out pointed stones dug into Jenga. Withdrew Kyurem Black, send out Moile. Jenga surrounded itself with Z power, and because I have Ferium Z Twinkle Tackle is used, but it is wasted, because it's not very effective on Moile. He used priority attack Sucker Punch, and because I decided to stay in and attack him the move was successful. For some reason I used Psychic, I don't know why, because Psychic is not good against anything on his team. Because I can't do anything, because of that Sucker Punch I sent Scissor out. And that's a good thing, because he used Sucker Punch, but he failed it. Priority Bullet Punch was used, a critical hit may I add, and that was enough to make Moile faint. He sent Kyurem. I used Bullet Punch once again, but he was ready for that, because Babiri Berry reduced the damage of Bullet Punch, and he was ready for Scissor, because that was super effective HP fire. Scissor fainted. Primeep is ready. Because item is used, and he can't have another reduce berry. I hit him with super effective close combat, defense fell, special defense fell, and Kyurem fell as well. Hey, it rhymes. He sent C Smithoed. I switched Primeep, and I sent Jenga, because I want to scout what move he's gonna use, and he used Earth Power, but failed because Jenga fainted because of Rock. And C Smithoed restored a little HP using its leftovers. And once again I sent Primeep out. Close combat is used, and defense fell, special defense fell, and it's not good, because he survived on 9% and lucky for me, I survived Earth Power with that special defense drop. C Smithoed restored HP for the last time in this battle with leftovers. And for the last time close combat is used, and C Smithoed, his final Pokemon on his team fainted. And that's the game. I'm 4-3, and I hope you enjoyed this battle and I will see you in next one.